Hello, 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 dreamers. Perla here. As always, thank you for all your love and support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't done so, go ahead and do so. We would love to have you. So, we're going to jump right on in. This is going to be the weekly collective reading, and this message is for all of those that it resonates with. Alrighty. Whew. Hmm. So, this week there is a sense for a lot of you to, you're being called to flexibility. And what do I mean by that? there, there is a sense here that a lot of you are going to be feeling either a little bit more tired or sleeping a little longer. So there's an adjustment here that needs to be made. So like if you normally sleep like 5 hours a night, maybe go to bed an extra hour earlier, right? Regardless of how many hours you actually sleep throughout the night. There is a sense here that there is some type of recalibration happening within your physical body when it comes into alignment with your spirit. And that is coming very clearly after a period of time of working intentionally to healing something or releasing something. Now, what is going to transpire this week may feel like you're being tested, or it may feel like you're going backwards. And the reason why that is because all of the things that you have been intentionally working towards releasing or healing, all of these triggers and things like that, they're going to be coming up all together all at once. So like if you are somebody that was easily triggered by like a specific person or a specific behavior, you're going to start noticing that behavior a lot more. And it's almost kind of, and I want you to look at it this way, it's kind of like you yourself are testing yourself. Your spirit is testing yourself in the sense like, are we really over this, or are we really done with this? So like a quick example would be like, let's say you have an ex, and every time somebody brings up this ex, you go down a rant about like every single thing that this person did wrong and this and this and that. And now it's like when somebody brings this person up, you're like, oh, that's nice, and that's it, and that's where the conversation ends. There is no more where this past person or this past behavior, etc., has to take any more space within your dialogue. Does that make any sense? So again, if you were like an upset driver, or like when you're driving and somebody cuts you off and you're cursing them out, or etc., now it's like somebody cuts you off and you're just like, you know what, we're gonna leave it there, and that's it. So this is about you finally realizing all the things that once trigger you no longer do. And what I love about this energy is that you are being invited not to run away from it or not to hide from it, because it is very easy for one to say I'm healed from this, but not be confronted by what this is. You know what I'm saying? So there is a sense here that all of the things, again, like how I said earlier, whatever it is that you have been healing, whatever it is that you've been working on, it's kind of like the final test for you to really see whether it is that you've healed from something or whether it is you're still being triggered by it. And when you're triggered, the trigger itself is not what determines whether you're healed or not. It is whether you respond or react to it. I'm going to say that again. The trigger itself is not the test itself. It is how you react and how you respond to it. Okay. So there are things that automatically, like, when I see like either on social media or whatever, will trigger some part of me. And I'll be like, but instead of reacting to that trigger, I lean into it and I'm like, oh, why is this uncomfortable? Or why does this feel this way? And then I allow that part of myself to come up and show me what it is in that space that, why is it that it's triggering me, right? And it can be something that you are completely like, you can't even remember why or anything like that. But it's about this week, really give yourself the grace and really give yourself the opportunity to learn to respond to situations instead of reacting. When I'm always up here saying about like learning to regulate your nervous system, it is not about suppressing anger. It is not about suppressing sadness. And it's not about suppressing joy or happiness. It is about learning to get back to a baseline so that you're not controlled by those reactions or by those singular moments, if that makes sense. Right. Because I'm gonna be the first one to say, like, I am not an angel. I am not like this perfect being. I regulate myself on a daily basis. And what I mean by that is like every morning I start my morning in a very specific way to allow myself to settle, to allow my spirit to settle into my physical body so that when I am facing certain things, I am regulated enough to be able to respond to these situations instead of reacting to them. You have to remember, my love, that you don't have anything to prove to anyone. If you're still living in this space where you are worried about what it is that people are going to say or how people are going to view you, then that is a space that still hasn't been healed. That is a space that still needs to be addressed. Why is it that being recognized or being seen by other people is more important to you than being recognized or seen by yourself? Because if you truly believe that you're like you create your own reality, that what it is that you have internally about yourself is what you're creating outside of yourself. So however it is that you view yourself, however it is that you speak to yourself, however it is that you present yourself to yourself, whatever perception you have about yourself is exactly what is being reflected back to you with those around you. Okay. And again, if the message is not for you, just keep on moving forward. All right, let's see what else. So that's what we have on that end. There is, hmm, how do we word this? There is some type of situation in your life that is being locked down. Or I'm locking this down is a word that I keep on hearing. So as you're dealing with that aspect spiritually of like recalibration, feeling a little bit more tired, needing a little bit more rest, and dealing with all of these triggers, you're also simultaneously dealing with the I keep on seeing like an enclosement. I don't know why they keep on describing it that way, but there's something about like an enclosement, an enclosement, enclosement. So there's some type of deal that is being secure, some type of deal that is being secured. That's really the only way that I can say it, guys. And I'm trying to figure out like, okay, why can't I see more into this? But because again, these are just collective readings for everyone, whoever's drawn to it. There is some type of either job or some type of relationship that is being solidified or that is being closed. I don't know why the word closed. For those of you that maybe have been in an open relationship or maybe have been in relationships where people cheated on you or etc. It's like now you're coming into a relationship where it is closed, where it's just you and one person. That's what I mean. Like something is being treated as sacred or something is being treated with the value that it deserves. So again, as what I'm asking you not to do this week is that I'm asking you not to go against the grain. There's time to go with the flow, with the rhythm, with the flow of the ocean, and then there's time to go against the grain. And when you have the discernment of when it is that either side is needed, is when you start to see your life really transforming, because then you're living from spirit and not from your limited perception, if that makes sense. So you're being asked that as all of this is happening, trust whatever it is that's happening within this relationship, this closeness or this solidifying of a relationship, of a connection, or of a job. For some of you, this is getting your dream job. Maybe it was something that you thought that you were never going to be able to attain. And it is circling around financials, the amount of money or whatever it is. Maybe you have always worked in a job that like your max pay was 75K a year, and you apply for a job that is like 95 to 105K a year, and you're just like, oh, I've never had that, but it's like now it's coming for you. Like now it's in alignment with you. And it is in alignment with you because of the work that you have done when it comes to receiving, is what I keep picking up. Receiving. There was a lot of work here that you guys did collectively, like individually, when it comes to allowing yourself to receive without necessarily having to bargain for it or without necessarily having to hustle, is the word that I keep on hearing. Like you're finally in alignment with something. I really invite you again that that rhythm of like slowing down this week is very important. Um, there's something that happens in that subtlety of rest that allows things to come in and to flow in. So if we look at like when you're sleeping, right, when you're sleeping, you physically, your body is vulnerable, right, your mind is vulnerable to receive information and things like that. And there's something about like this rest state this week that is allowing things to just flow in. It's like it's allowing your mind to get into alignment with the things that you have been trying to manifest. But again, for those of you that have always been in the space of like hustle, 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 this may be this may be your challenge in itself. It's like learning to sit, learning to rest. And again, I always share a little bit of like my personal experience because I feel that what we learn is like what we learn is what we're supposed to teach or what we're supposed to share with others. During my moments of rest or during my moments of less productivity, right, when I'm less productive or whatever, are usually the times where major shifts happen for me, major breakthroughs, major manifestation, etc. And for a very long time, that was not true. For a very long time, I was in this perception, in this loop, that I had to constantly be productive in order to produce, and that is like in order to have an outcome or the outcome that I desired, and that is not true. So for a lot of you, that is coming into is coming into alignment with that energy of learning to receive. And when I say learning to receive, a very good way to put yourself in learning to receive, because a lot of people are like, oh, well, I'm not afraid to like receive money. I'm not afraid to receive abundance. Okay, how do you react or how do you respond when somebody gives you a compliment? Do you say thank you, but, or do you just say thank you? Because a lot of us have been conditioned that when a compliment is given, when something is given to us, we feel like we are indebted to that person, right? So like if somebody comes up to me and say, "Oh my God, you're so pretty," I just say thank you. I don't be like, "Oh, you too." Even if I think the person is pretty, like I'm not indebted to respond the same way. And I know that that's going to sound cocky to certain people, whatever it is. Then this message is not for you. What we're talking about here is an energetic field of allowing yourself to receive. When you allow yourself to receive the little things, the compliments, the criticism, the constructive criticism, or whatever it is, but you do not allow it to define you at the same time. Does that make sense? Because energy is fluent, energy is constantly moving, and that is exactly how it should be flowing through us constantly. It's not about us staying stuck in certain situations or staying stuck in certain spaces or allowing someone's approval or disapproval of you to determine who it is that you are. All righty, that's pretty much what is coming through. Otherwise, it just feels very much repetitive. I am inclined to say this for some reason. The zodiac signs and the cusp this week are going to probably be more geared towards love. So if that is not an interest of you, just kind of be aware of it. So we have the Work Your Light Oracle is the deck that we're using as your closing message. Guys, I have dogs, and one of these dogs is like shedding like crazy. It doesn't matter how many times I wipe this table. Her hair seems to be getting everywhere. She's getting her summer coat in soon. All right. So let's go ahead and let's pull out. And no, my dogs are not. Um, they're not banned from my space. They are spiritual workers in themselves. So they're with me every time I'm recording, every time I'm with a client. Alrighty. So we have. Alrighty. I don't know. Because that message felt. I like it to come out a certain way, like facing down. Give me one card, Spirit. A lot of you need to start getting into into the space where you need to be able to learn to receive the messages that are coming towards you and not get so stuck on the messages that you want to hear. Usually what you want to hear, what you are inquiring about, is not an answer that you're ready for, because what it is that you need to work on, or what it is where it is that your attention needs to be at in this moment in time hasn't been resolved. And a lot of the times when you allow yourself to focus on what it is the spirit is trying to show you, what it is that you need for the season, you'll see that the minute that you surrender to that energy, then what it is that you are inquiring about, what it is that you are wanting, what it is that you are desiring and wanting so much in your life just comes to fruition. So we have Anna, the grandmother of Jesus, sending the light, laying foundations, and divine plan. Let's go ahead and see what does the book have to say. I'm just gonna read the quick. Oh, it's page 88 for those of you that are into numerology. I like numerology a lot. I use it a little different. I'm still learning how it is that I connect with it directly. Alrighty, so it says Anna, grandmother of Jesus, was an ancient mystic who dedicated her life to laying the foundation for Christ consciousness to be woven through all of life. She is not widely known, but without her, Christ consciousness would not be rising as it is today. Anna presents a quiet dedication that is sometimes required to live a life of service. She represents the generation that comes before that devoted their lives to dreaming a new world into being, while knowing that they would not see the glorious end results. She represents the dutiful soldier, the unconditional mother, and the mystic who can see the thread that is woven throughout all of life. Anna teaches us that we all have a part to play in the divine plan. It doesn't have to be on the world stage to be significant. One person's part is not worthier than another. One person's part may be to mother their children, another may be to gather women in circles each month. No part is better or worse, more important or less significant. We each have within us a seed of light that we incarnated to share. Anna is gathering us to remember and surrender to our part of the plan. So there's definitely here a space that as you're going through this recalibration, it is bringing you into alignment onto what the divine plan is for you. And again, how we just said a couple of minutes ago about not resisting what it is that is coming through, not resisting what it is that spirit is trying to bring into your awareness, or the physical things that spirit is trying to bring into your world, and allowing yourself instead to have the discernment of how it is that you move forward within that space. And that's pretty much all that I have for you guys. Sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing, guys. Take care. Love you all. Bye bye.